Hi, Weather Joey here with your bottom of the South Island weather recap and weather forecast for Thursday, December 29th, 2022, the final recap and forecast of 2022. We'll be seeing you in 2023. All my friends in the future, sending and looking forward to spending the year with you, talking about what's happening here in the present. And also to my friends out there, the birds, the bees, the plants, the animals, the minerals, the spirits and beings. Giving you a little bit of my heart and my forecast to hopefully help you along, and just a little bit of my gift I have. I was thinking about it and the reason why I send things out to you guys in the future and to the spirits and beings of present day is that, and not so much my fellow human beings here right now, is that there's a lot of messages going out. Everybody's talking back and forth, talking at you, talking at me, back and forth, looking at ourselves. Yeah, there's enough of that. So I'm sending out to you guys in the future because there's not enough of us talking to you guys and thinking about you guys. I want you to be able to look back and maybe see a little picture of what we're going through, and know that we're thinking about you. And know that we're undergoing some changes and doing our best. And for all the other ones out there, just know that we're with you also. Anyway, we've got a lot to get through. So, before I get started, as always, I like to cough, clear my throat, and thank the first peoples of this land, the First Nations. From North Saanich out to Sooke and beyond, for allowing us to live, work, and play as guests on their beautiful traditional territory. And I got a book for Christmas that I'm reading over called True Reconciliation by Judy Wilson-Raybould. So I've started digging into that. It's looking forward to it as an interesting read, and hopefully I can learn some lessons this year doing my part. And bringing some others along with me coercively. Not so coercively. More blabbing. Okay, a lot of weather information to get through because we talked about that snowstorm. Let's briefly go over that. Around the equinox of December, we saw cold air piling down. Now, this was associated with an upper low. We didn't talk about that before, but there was high pressure over here. Circulation down from the north, bringing in cold Arctic air. Deep freeze temperatures are minus 10 or lower at night. During the day, kind of minus 5 to minus 9. Definitely qualified. This was sort of more low-level air, and I'm going to get into it because it's an unusual situation. We did have from this upper low, we did have some circulation coming in off the Pacific, a little bit higher level, but that's what brought us all that snow. We had upper marine moisture coming in, hitting that cold air, dumping a ton of snow. The South Coast saw kind of like 25 to 35 centimeters throughout, mostly focused on this line, so the lower South Island here and the lower mainland. Lots of snow. I think that got us into the 20th, 21st, that sort of stuff. It cleared out a little bit on the 21st. And then Thursday was the 22nd, and that's where we saw the real switch and mayhem hit. And what a difference a couple of days can make, eh? So Thursday the 22nd, we started seeing more low pressure up in here start pulling in a southwest flow across the south coast, and that started bringing cloud on Thursday. Still deep freeze temperatures because that lower air is colder, denser, sinks down low, and stays low around the south coast. And then we started to get warm marine air rising up over top of it, just showing this cloud. By the time we got into Friday, however, we were into snow to start off, quickly changing to ice pellets because that upper air precipitation is falling as rain, going through the freezing air, and before it hits the ground, it's frozen into ice pellets. After that, later in the day, we got into freezing rain, where the rain makes it all the way through the cold layer, and the cold layer starts to retreat back a little bit. That wedge of warm air starts pushing that cold layer out. Not enough time in the air to freeze, but when it hits any of the surfaces that are below zero, it freezes. So forms a coat of ice. It turned in, and then after that, later in the day, still coming through, the cool air pushed right out. We went above zero, and we saw rain right down to the surface. And that started off, so that was Friday the 23rd. That started off a constant flow of systems in from the southwest. Mild systems that brought rain Saturday the 24th. Christmas Day the 25th and on into the 26th, with freezing levels rising way up. Any snow that we gained really got eaten away right to the Alpine, rain to the Alpine, with this Hawaiian flow from the subtropics bringing tons of rain through the 26th. Now, we saw a system on the 27th, and this was all circulating around this low pressure. Well, the last system on the 27th came through and it cut off. And it came across the Pacific Northwest there. And we saw lots of rain up on the south coast. But down in Washington, Oregon, they saw tons of rain and tons of wind as this system cut off and zipped across there. And that marked the start of a new kind of west-southwest flow. So lots of rain and wind with that system on the 27th. 28th, this westerly flow, and that was yesterday, really started to bring in, is that yesterday? Yeah. Really start to bring in more of a dry, cooler, more seasonal flow in from the west. It really dried out nicely yesterday. Today, carried in today a little bit. I think I've got the dates right. Today's the 29th. We still got that westerly flow, but it's bringing in a couple of weak little fronts from the west-southwest. Still centered around this kind of low pressure up here. Just weak fronts coming through. We'll see a little bit of rain. You'll see that on the records likely for the 29th today. On into the 30th. Lingering around a little bit. But in behind, it looks like we have some nice low, high pressure also building in from the west-southwest for the last day of 2022. Should dry things out nicely. And then into the first day of 2023. Looks like we're going to clear out even for then. And get some chilly overnight temperatures. Nothing, maybe a bit of frost into Sunday the 1st. And that high pressure looks like it's going to push over onto the coast and hold quite nicely for, let's see, the 2nd is the Monday, 3rd, Tuesday, 4th, Wednesday. So much into the first week of the new year. However, as that pushes through, it looks like eventually we're going to start seeing systems really spin up off the coast here. What's going to happen there? It looks like potential storm action. We're not quite sure yet, but that looks like the future of later next week. Need a little sip here. Anyway, it's been great spending 2022 with you and having visits out here in a little shed. And getting to spend that time and pouring forth some of the things that I know and a little bit of my heart here and there. And like I said, I look forward to 2023. Cheers for that, mate. Anyway, as always, to you guys out there, wish the best. And as always, may the forecast be with you.